Welcome, graduates, and thank you for joining us for this auspicious occasion. I'm Keith Whitfield, President of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. The 2020 UNLV Doctoral Commencement is an opportunity for us to recognize and celebrate the amazing accomplishments of our spring, summer, and fall 2020 doctoral graduates. Congratulations to each one of you for reaching this incredible milestone, the pinnacle in academia. You made it, and we could not be more proud of you. To begin our commencement, please join me in welcoming Doctor of Musical Arts student, Mr. Perry Chacon, for the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Perry, for sharing your incredible talent with us in that beautiful performance. The magnitude of what you've accomplished cannot be overstated, particularly in the context in which you earned your degree. In so many ways, it's been a particularly remarkable and unusual and challenging year. But you prevailed. You didn't give up on your dreams. You continued to research, to work with your advisor and your peers, to study, to write, and to successfully defend. You dug in your heels and completed what you started many years ago. Your dedication to achieving your academic pursuits, particularly when you did, is admirable. You and your loved ones, your advisors, your faculty, and your friends should be so proud. And this, I am sure, this is simply the beginning of what you're poised for a very bright future, one in which you will help lead the way in your field for years to come. You learned from others, you listened, you walked in their footsteps, now you're prepared to lead. To find innovative solutions to complex problems, to set an example for all of those who follow in your footsteps. I encourage you to accept this challenge with enthusiasm and open arms. You are ready for it. We need your ideas and your leadership as we work together to get through this trying time. I truly wish we were here today in person so I could shake each one of your hands and say congratulations. And thank you for choosing to be a part of the UNLV family. We're eagerly awaiting to celebrate your future achievements. And now I'd like to welcome Dr. Kate Corrigan, Dean of the UNLV Graduate College.
Thank you, President Whitfield. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Congratulations to all of our 2020 doctoral graduates. So you've made it, all of you, our amazing doctoral graduates, and every one of you who have believed in them, supported them, and celebrated their successes. Kudos to each and every one of you. Graduates, you are unique. With fewer than 2% of Americans holding a doctoral degree, you are poised to be leaders in your fields, your workplaces, and your communities. Our graduate college motto is 3 words that together represent the heart of graduate education: inspiration, innovation, and impact. Inspiration provides the motivation to apply, enroll, and persist, and no class of graduates has persisted more than you, our 2020 graduates, and progress through your program in order to complete your advanced degree. Innovation is what's required of you as doctoral candidates. You are not repeating the work of others. You are adding to it, innovating, and creating new knowledge. This is a requirement of all doctoral graduates. And last but not least, impact. This is the inevitable result of your innovation. You have contributed to your discipline, and in doing so, your work is poised to have a positive impact on others and the world around us. As you earn your degree, I'd like to give you a challenge. And I know that you like challenges, or you wouldn't have pursued and completed your doctoral degree. So my challenge to you is to take your inspiration, your expertise, and your innovative perspective and go out and make an impact on the world around you. The inspiration that drove you to graduate school in the first place and the grit you've shown along the way, meeting every challenge, overcoming every obstacle. It's the kind of focus and hard work that we all need you to apply to problems in your field, our community, and the world at large. The way you innovated and found new solutions to old problems is the same kind of drive that we need you to do so that you can think outside the box and bravely lead. Do so, and you are poised to change the world for the better. You have the skills. Please, for the good of all of us, use them. Be bold, be brave, be innovative, and be compassionate. You have the opportunity to be a force for good who makes the world a better place. From the pandemic to endemic social injustice, to the economic crisis, from politics to environmental threats, health issues, educational challenges, and complex community, family, and individual problems, to rapid and stunning engineering, science, and technological advancements. Our world today is beset with issues, challenges, and opportunities for you to contribute and use your expertise, intellect, and creativity to make an impact. Which brings us to impact. With great privilege, like being a doctoral trained expert, comes great responsibility. I urge you to embrace it and make a positive difference in some way every day. Speak your truth, share what you know, do good in the world, and keep an open mind. Be flexible, critical, and creative thinkers. Your impact is inevitable. I challenge you to make it matter. Now, while we unfortunately can't participate in a traditional hooding ceremony as we would during an in-person commencement, we are excited to host this virtual doctoral hooding and commencement today. Doctoral regalia reflects a long-standing historical tradition in which we welcome new members of our academic family, people like you who have earned the highest degree and distinction in your fields. Though all post-secondary graduates wear regalia to announce their accomplishment in newfound positions, none is more regal or symbolic than the regalia worn by doctoral graduates. It is truly an outfit befitting your status. European sumptuary laws recognized gowns and hoods as the official dress of academics all the way back in 1321. And the practice of wearing specific types of regalia and colors to represent your field of study and level of degree was standardized in the United States in 1895. In 2012, UNLV adopted our own gray and scarlet doctoral robes, and they are absolutely distinct. No other university in the United States has doctoral regalia like ours at UNLV. But why do graduates wear this special garb? Well, it goes all the way back to the Middle Ages, when most education took place in churches and cathedrals, which are beautiful and lofty spaces for lofty ideas. But they were also drafty. So robes were warm and had large sleeves to hold writing instruments. That, coupled with the fact that many scholars and teachers were part of the clergy, robes became the foundation of scholarly attire. You may have noticed that doctoral robes are more elaborate and ornate than bachelor's and master's robes, with velvet chevrons on the sleeves showing one's status. In addition to robes, we have hoods that provided warmth and were functional, but they're also very symbolic. Hoods harken back to ancient Greece, when students would give anonymous donations to teachers by placing coins in the hood as they walked. The hood has a little pocket in the back. So by the way, graduates, if you explain this tradition to your family and friends, gifting in the hood still works today. So later, the colors of the hood displayed on the satin in doctoral hoods came to distinguish one's degree and one's field of expertise. We also have the tam or mortarboard, which again served as a tool to keep warm, but also as a writing surface. Doctoral tams today are variable. Some are velvet, some are not. Some are 4, 6, or 8-sided, but all doctoral tams are fancier than the more utilitarian mortarboards worn by bachelor's and master's graduates. Finally, we have medallions and honor cords. Under this year's unusual circumstances, you should have received a Graduate College Honors Cord in the mail just recently. And I hope that you're wearing it proudly today. You may also wear it on any future occasion when you wear your dress regalia. Now, some of you may also be proudly wearing some other Phi Kappa Phi or other sort of medallion. Our Graduate College medallion are bestowed upon students who have been exceptionally involved in graduate college programming during their time at UNLV and are academically distinguished. So I'd like to take just a moment to recognize our 2020 Doctoral Graduate College recipients. For spring 2020, I'd like to recognize Joanna Andrews from Public Health, Kavita Batra from Public Health, Patrick DeLeyden from Computer Science, Philip Dankwa from Public Health, Michael Isaacs, Life Sciences, Monia Kazamani, Mechanical Engineering, E.J. Kim, Hospitality Administration, Holly Martin, Life Sciences, Austin McKenna, Biological Sciences, John Olawepo, Public Health, and Wendy Schuchart-Wimmer, English. For summer 2020, I'd like to recognize the following medallion winners: Marina Harris, Psychology; Malia Heen, Criminology and Criminal Justice; Erdogan Kaya, Curriculum and Instruction; Joy McKenna, Biological Sciences; Jonathan Yorgs Mahana, Political Science; Jessica Nave Blodgett, Psychology; Ezgi Yezelyurt, Curriculum and Instruction. Finally, we'll recognize our Fall 2020 Graduate College Medallion recipients, and they are Jana Bernstein from Curriculum and Instruction and Visar Farangi from Civil and Environmental Engineering. Congratulations to all of you on this noteworthy accomplishment. And a hearty kudos to each and every one of our doctoral graduates today. I couldn't be more proud of your accomplishment or more filled with goodwill and good wishes for success in all that comes next for each of you. Congratulations, doctors. And now I'd like to give a warm welcome to Dr. Chris Heavey, UNLV's Executive Vice President and Provost.
Thank you so much, Dean Corrigan. Congratulations to the graduates, faculty, friends, and family. This year we are recognizing about 200 doctoral scholars who have completed their degrees in the spring, summer, or fall of 2020. We are extraordinarily proud of your accomplishments, especially during such a challenging year, and we look forward to the impact you will have on the future. As leaders and experts in your fields, you will be among those setting policy and best practices for up-and-coming professionals and for the continued development of those already working in your respective professions. This is important work that can influence so many aspects of our daily lives. You have all created new knowledge and explored areas within your fields that go beyond what was already known and had been studied. Some of you now may have a greater influence on shaping higher education itself as future university faculty, administrators, and leaders. These are challenging times, particularly here in Southern Nevada. The pandemic has strained our economy, healthcare, and nearly every aspect of our daily life. You are now the ones to help us find solutions, to show us the way to think and work differently, and to encourage us to adapt to new approaches. I admire and applaud your dedication to your academic and professional accomplishments. Many of you have been integral to major research at UNLV. You have helped us expand on best practices and help students, educators, administrators confront challenges at hand. We are counting on you to continue to lead and inspire breakthrough innovation so we can move forward. I'm grateful for your commitment and your drive for changing and shaping the future in ways that may impact generations to come. Thank you for your dedication to excellence. On behalf of all of us at UNLV, please accept our sincerest congratulations as we gather virtually to bestow upon each of you your discipline's highest honor, a doctoral degree. Now we've come to the portion of our program where we have the opportunity to officially confer the doctoral degree to UNLV's 2020 doctoral graduates. So without further ado, on recommendation of the Graduate College faculty and the Dean of the Graduate College, I am pleased to recommend these candidates for the doctoral degree.
Thank you so much, Provost Heavey. So to begin our virtual doctoral hooding and conferral of degrees, I'd like to take a moment in remembrance of Dr. Shane Parker, a Doctor of Physical Therapy graduate whose degree we are awarding posthumously today. Shane was an excellent student and classmate and an even better person and friend, someone who will be forever part of the UNLV Physical Therapy family. Dr. Parker is greatly missed, but his memory will not be forgotten. We now confer a posthumous doctoral degree to Shane Parker in recognition of his academic accomplishments. And now we will move on to confer doctoral degrees by way of a virtual hooding of each 2020 doctoral graduate. Graduates will be presented in the college or school in which their academic program is located, as well as their graduation semester. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming DANICA Hayes, Interim Dean of the College of Education, who will join me for the virtual hooding of our education graduates.
Thank you, Dean Corrigan. On behalf of the faculty and staff in the College of Education, I congratulate you on this moment. We're proud to have 27 of you earn a doctorate this year. Several years ago, you made the decision to pursue this dream, and your perseverance, sacrifice, and support from others have led you to this point. You've balanced work and family as you completed coursework, took comprehensive exams, collaborated with faculty and peers on research, and finished that dissertation. You did it in one of the most challenging years of our lifetimes. Earning a doctorate is the highest academic achievement in higher education. And with a doctorate in education, you now have the incredible opportunity to lead our profession in a way that will make education accessible and equitable for all. We are at a critical time in education, and I'm proud to have you represent our college, training and developing future educators, conducting research that advances education, and leading future generations. Thank you in advance for the ways in which you will contribute to our community and profession, and congratulations on this moment. Now I'm pleased to present the doctoral candidates from the College of Education.
Dr. Michelle A. Arroyo, Doctor of Philosophy, Teacher Education, virtually hooded by Dr. Linda Quinn. Dr. Lisa A. Bosky, Doctor of Philosophy, Curriculum and Instruction, virtually hooded by Dr. Stephen Bickmore. Dr. Woon-hee Choi, Doctor of Philosophy, Special Education, virtually hooded by Dr. Tracy Spies. Dr. Deanna Lynn Cooper, Doctor of Philosophy, Higher Education, virtually Dr. Laura E. Decker, Doctor of Philosophy, Curriculum and Instruction, virtually hooded by Dr. Shillis Scott.
Dr. Decker, on behalf of your entire committee, we're very proud of you. Congratulations.
Dr. Christy M. Gardner, Doctor of Philosophy, Educational Psychology, virtually hooded by Dr. Gwen Marchand. Dr. Chad Nolan Hensley III, Doctor of Philosophy, Curriculum and Instruction, virtually hooded by Dr. Howard Gordon.
Chad, congratulations. Another feather in your cap. Way to go.
Dr. Rachel N. Part, Doctor of Philosophy, Educational Psychology, virtually hooded by Dr. Gwen Marchand. Dr. Brenda Ann Pearson, Doctor of Philosophy, Educational Psychology, virtually hooded by Dr. Gwen Marchand. Dr. Christina L. Redding, Doctor of Philosophy, Special Education, virtually hooded by Dr. Tracy Spies and Joseph Morgan. Dr. Sarah A. Shaw, Doctor of Philosophy, Curriculum and Instruction, virtually hooded by Dr. Howard Gordon.
Sarah, congratulations. We are very proud of you. Keep up the good work.
Dr. Carly E. Waters, Doctor of Philosophy, Curriculum and Instruction, virtually hooded by Dr. Shillis Scott.
Congratulations, Dr. Waters. On behalf of your committee and me, we're so proud of you. Go, Carly!
Dr. Jennifer Sarah Wynn, Doctor of Philosophy, Educational Psychology, virtually hooded by Dr. Scott Lowe. Dr. Mariam Elham Arabi, Doctor of Philosophy, Curriculum and Instruction, virtually hooded by Dr. Randall Boone. Dr. Jana M. Bernstein, Doctor of Philosophy, Curriculum and Instruction, virtually hooded by Dr. Christine Clark.
Congratulations, Jana. You did it. We're so proud of the work you produce. It's been really an honor to walk the path with you. Congratulations.
Hey, Jana, congratulations. I know it was a long journey, but you made it to your destination. And now you are officially Dr. Jana Bernstein.
Dr. Michelle Marie Dominguez Chavez, Doctor of Philosophy, Higher Education, virtually hooded by Dr. Vicki Rosser. Dr. Matthew David Gromlich, Doctor of Philosophy, Curriculum and Instruction, virtually hooded by Dr. Travis Olson. Dr. Jacqueline Scott Hart, Doctor of Philosophy, Educational Psychology, virtually hooded by Drs. Scott Lowe and Alice Corkle.
Dr. Hart, congratulations on this tremendous achievement. It's been a pleasure working with you.
Dr. Kevin M. Higley, Doctor of Philosophy, Curriculum and Instruction, virtually hooded by Dr. Christine Clark.
Well done, Kevin. You did a great job. Congratulations, Kevin. It's been a joy seeing what the future holds for you.
Great job, Kevin. Remember, it's both the journey and the destination, and you made it from the beginning through the journey to the destination. I'm very proud of you. Congrats. Dr. Higley.
Dr. Sarah Katz, Doctor of Philosophy, Special Education, virtually hooded by Dr. Corey Moore.
Congratulations, Sarah, you did it. You completed your goal, and now it's your turn to go out and inspire future educators. I can't wait to see what your future brings.
Dr. Erdogan Kaya, Doctor of Philosophy, Curriculum and Instruction, virtually hooded by Dr. Hassan Deniz.
Erdogan, I wish you my best in your future life and academic career. I am sure you will do great.
Dr. Monique E. Matute Chavarria, Doctor of Philosophy, Special Education, virtually hooded by Dr. Monica Brown. Dr. Astor Siegel, Doctor of Philosophy, Curriculum and Instruction, virtually hooded by Dr. Randall Boone and Hassan Deniz.
Esther, I wish you my best in your future life and academic career. I am sure you will do great.
Dr. Mark Lewis Spinrad, Doctor of Philosophy, Higher Education, virtually hooded by Dr. Stephanie Rellis. Dr. Michael Wilder, Doctor of Philosophy, Learning and Technology, virtually hooded by Drs. Kendall Hartley and Alice Corkle.
Dr. Wilder, finally, we're there. It's been an honor and a pleasure working with you. Congratulations.
Dr. Ezzy Yesilyurt, Doctor of Philosophy, Curriculum and Instruction, virtually hooded by Dr. Hassan Deniz.
Ezgi, I wish you my best in your future life and academic career. I'm sure you will do great.
Dr. Michelle Catherine Zakowski, Doctor of Philosophy, Educational Psychology, virtually hooded by Dr. Scott Lowe and Samuel Song.
Congratulations, Dr. Zahowski. It's great getting to work with you. You are done. See ya. Good luck.
Congratulations to our 2020 doctoral graduates from the College of Education. Now, please welcome Nancy Usher, Dean of the College of Fine Arts, who will join me for the virtual hooding of our Doctor of Musical Arts graduates.
Thank you, Kate. Greetings, doctoral graduates. Congratulations on earning your Doctor of Musical Arts degree in the School of Music at UNLV. As DMA graduates, you have attained a distinguished and prestigious terminal degree in the arts, a significant milestone in your lives. We are so very proud of this deeply impressive accomplishment. It speaks to your talent, hard work, resilience, originality, and creativity. In completing the doctoral degree, you have created work of value during the challenging time of the pandemic, which is incredibly inspiring. I wish each of you all the very best as you pursue your most precious life goals. I join you and your families in celebrating this outstanding achievement. Again, congratulations and warmest wishes to each and every one of you. Now I am pleased to present the doctoral candidates from the College of Fine Arts.
Dr. Lisa A. Elliott, Doctor of Musical Arts. Virtually hooded by Dr. Linda Lister.
Congratulations to Dr. Lisa Elliott, whose research on female choral composers makes a valuable contribution to the canon.
Dr. Sarah Hay Folick, Doctor of Musical Arts. Virtually hooded by Dr. Marina Sturm. Dr. Karen Hockman, Doctor of Musical Arts. Virtually hooded by Dr. Alphonse Anderson. Dr. Jiri Wang, Doctor of Musical Arts, virtually hooded by Dr. Alphonse Anderson. Dr. Adam M. Steiber, Doctor of Musical Arts, virtually hooded by Dr. Andrew Smith. Dr. Elizabeth Valvano, Doctor of Musical Arts, virtually hooded by Dr. Janice McKay.
Congratulations, Dr. Liz Valvano and all of the new doctors. We're so proud.
Dr. Olivera Jorgaska, Doctor of Musical Arts, virtually hooded by Dr. Linda Lister.
Congratulations to Dr. Olivera Georgoska. 2020 was a tough year for all of us, but in January she became an American citizen, and this December she becomes a Doctor of Musical Arts.
Dr. Monica Ariane Williams, Doctor of Musical Arts, virtually hooded by Dr. Alphonse Anderson.
Congratulations to our 2020 doctoral graduates from the College of Fine Arts. Now, please join me in welcoming Jennifer Keene, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts, who will join me for the virtual hooding of our liberal arts graduates.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Keene, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts. It's a privilege to congratulate you on your amazing accomplishment, the completion of your doctoral degree at UNLV. Earning a terminal degree is a shining achievement. You've completed a rigorous course of study to prepare you for a future as scholars, researchers, and practitioners in your chosen fields. More than that, you're equipped with the tools needed to tackle some of society's most pressing problems and create positive change. Now, we know you didn't accomplish this incredible milestone during this most challenging of years without the support of your mentors, family, and friends. So please be sure to thank them. We're so proud of you, and we can't wait to see the positive impact you'll make on the world. Congrats, class of 2020. We salute you. And now I'm pleased to present the doctoral graduates from the College of Liberal Arts.
Dr. Chelsea J. Adams, Doctor of Philosophy, English, virtually hooded by Dr. Vincent Perez. Dr. Alec S. Brown, Doctor of Philosophy, Political Science, virtually hooded by Dr. Christian Jensen. Dr. Marianne Kalea, Doctor of Philosophy, Anthropology, virtually hooded by Dr. Deborah Martin. Dr. Alana Kamalalavalu Matiavalani Fangai, Doctor of Philosophy, English, virtually hooded by Dr. Evelyn Gajowski.
Congratulations, Lana. It's been a pleasure witnessing you embrace your native Hawaiian identity to analyze recent films, including Shakespeare's The Tempest.
Dr. Lauren Frances Elizabeth Galloway, Doctor of Philosophy, Sociology, virtually hooded by Dr. Andrew Spivak. Dr. Samuel M. Gilpin, Doctor of Philosophy, English, virtually hooded by Dr. Donald Revell. Dr. Nicole D. Jenkins, Doctor of Philosophy, Sociology, virtually hooded by Dr. Ranita Ray. Dr. Gary D. Lindberg, Doctor of Philosophy, English, virtually hooded by Dr. Evelyn Gajowski.
Congratulations, Gary. Success is measured by the obstacles we overcome. You've been an amazing success in analyzing recent Japanese adaptations of Romeo and Juliet.
Dr. Sarah Rafe McIntosh, Doctor of Philosophy, Anthropology, virtually hooded by Dr. Levent Atishi.
Congratulations, Dr. McIntosh. Well done, much deserved. Way to go.
Dr. Joe M. Milan, Jr., Doctor of Philosophy, English, virtually hooded by Dr. Douglas Unger.
Dr. Joseph Mylan, Jr., thanks for making us all proud. It was great working with you, Joe. Congratulations.
Dr. David Mowat, Doctor of Philosophy, English, virtually hooded by Dr. Beth Rosenberg. Dr. Alex J. Nelson, Doctor of Philosophy, Anthropology, virtually hooded by Dr. William Jankowiak.
Hi, Alex. Congratulations. Your dissertation was fabulous, and we all look forward to seeing it in print.
Dr. Wendy Sukart, Doctor of Philosophy, English, virtually hooded by Dr. Douglas Unger.
Dr. Wendy Shukart Wimmer, we love you, Wendy. It was wonderful working with you. Congratulations.
Dr. Shay Smith Cox, Doctor of Philosophy, History, virtually hooded by Dr. Michael Green.
Congratulations to Dr. Shay Cox, great student, great advisee, now Assistant Professor of History at Nicholls State University in Louisiana.
Dr. Peter Stephenson, Doctor of Philosophy, English, virtually hooded by Dr. John Bowers. Dr. Sarah E. Toman, Doctor of Philosophy, Psychology, virtually hooded by Dr. Rachel Robnett.
Congratulations, Sarah. We are so proud of you. We'll miss you in the lab, but we are really excited to see what the future holds.
Dr. Mark P. Toussaint, Doctor of Philosophy, Anthropology, virtually hooded by Dr. Deborah Martin.
Hi, Mark. Great day. So proud of you. Great dissertation. Keep in touch.
Dr. Dorothy Christine Vanderford, Doctor of Philosophy, English, virtually hooded by Dr. Evelyn Gajowski.
Congratulations, Dorothy. Your insights into the intersections of race and gender in performances of Cleopatra and the Duchess of Malfi are profound.
Dr. Abigail Bailey, Doctor of Philosophy, Psychology, Clinical Psychology, virtually hooded by Dr. Daniel Allen. Dr. Lisa M. Beckman, Doctor of Philosophy, Psychology, Clinical Psychology, virtually hooded by Dr. Daniel Allen. Dr. Nicholas S. Carafagno, Doctor of Philosophy, Psychology, Clinical Psychology, virtually hooded by Dr. Stephen Benning.
Congratulations, Dr. Nick Carfagno. May your emotional intelligence serve your clients as well as it has your research.
Dr. Aaron D. Coates, Doctor of Philosophy, Political Science, virtually hooded by Dr. John Tooman. Dr. Ashley S. Imami, Doctor of Philosophy, Psychology, Clinical Psychology, virtually hooded by Dr. Daniel Allen. Dr. Stacy J. Graves, Doctor of Philosophy, Psychology, Clinical Psychology, virtually hooded by Dr. Daniel Allen. Dr. Marina E. Harris, Doctor of Philosophy, Psychology, Clinical Psychology, virtually hooded by Dr. Bradley Donahue. Dr. Eric B. Lopez, Doctor of Philosophy, Sociology, virtually hooded by Dr. Robert Futrell and Tirth Bata.
Hi Eric, congratulations, you did it. I'm very proud of you. Wish you all the best.
Dr. Jonathan Georges Mahana, Doctor of Philosophy, Political Science, virtually hooded by Dr. Michelle Kenzie and Christian Jensen. Dr. Stephanie A. Moynihan, Doctor of Philosophy, Psychology, Clinical Psychology, virtually hooded by Dr. Russell Hurlbert. Dr. Jessica E. Navid-Blodgett, Doctor of Philosophy, Psychology, Cognitive Psychology, virtually hooded by Dr. Joel Snyder. Dr. Alicia Nunez, Doctor of Philosophy, Psychology, Clinical Psychology, virtually hooded by Dr. Daniel Allen. Dr. Christopher P. Plant, Doctor of Philosophy, Psychology, Clinical Psychology, virtually hooded by Dr. Bradley Donahue. Dr. Ariel J. Santos, Doctor of Philosophy, English, virtually hooded by Dr. Vincent Perez. Dr. Jesse A. Scott, Doctor of Philosophy, Psychology, Clinical Psychology, virtually hooded by Dr. Bradley Donahue. Dr. Jennifer M. Stevens, Doctor of Philosophy, Sociology, virtually hooded by Dr. Robert Futrell.
Congratulations, Jennifer. From BA to PhD, all at UNLV. Really impressive.
Congratulations to our 2020 doctoral graduates from the College of Liberal Arts. Now please join me in welcoming Eric Chronister, Dean of the College of Sciences, who will join me for the virtual hooding of our College of Science graduates.
Thank you, Kate. Hello, I am Eric Chronister, Dean of the College of Sciences. Welcome to the 2020 virtual commencement. The College of Sciences is one of the premier research colleges at UNLV. Every year, we publish over 300 journal articles and acquire more than $10 million in research grants. Just this month, 3 papers were published in Nature, the premier scientific journal. 2 faculty were selected for the Mars 2020 mission, and another received a $1.2 million grant to investigate stem cells. Faculty and students helped Southern Nevada Health District with COVID-19 testing, and the college received 2 instrumentation grants totaling $1.4 million. Another exciting month in the College of Sciences. Congratulations. It is my hope that you stay connected with your mentors and colleagues and advance in your careers. I look forward to seeing what you accomplish next. Now I am pleased to present the doctoral candidates from the College of Sciences.
Dr. Timothy Alba, Doctor of Philosophy, Biological Sciences, virtually hooded by Dr. Eduardo Robleto. Dr. James C. Carter, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry, virtually hooded by Dr. Clemens Heskey.
Congratulations, Dr. Carter. You did it. We did it. And there will be even more to come. Unraveling the secrets of the chalcopyrites.
Dr. Christian Matthew Childs, Doctor of Philosophy, Physics, virtually hooded by Dr. Ashkan Salamat. Dr. Teresa A. Clark, Doctor of Philosophy, Biological Sciences, virtually hooded by Dr. Lloyd Stark. Dr. Jiwei Fang, Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematical Sciences, virtually hooded by Dr. Ji-Chun Lee. Dr. Michael Richard Isaacs, Doctor of Philosophy, Biological Sciences, virtually hooded by Dr. David Lee. Dr. Riwei Lan, Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematical Sciences, virtually hooded by Dr. Pengtao Sun. Dr. Rebecca Christian Low, Doctor of Philosophy, Radiochemistry, virtually hooded by Dr. Cheneth Serwinski. Dr. Holly Martin, Doctor of Philosophy, Biological Sciences, virtually hooded by Dr. Eduardo Robledo. Dr. Austin J. McKenna, Doctor of Philosophy, Biological Sciences, virtually hooded by Dr. Alan Gibbs. Dr. Lauren E. Perry, Doctor of Philosophy, Geoscience, virtually hooded by Dr. Stephen Rowland.
Congratulations, Dr. Lauren Perry. You did a fantastic job, and it was a great pleasure for me to work with you. Best of luck as you move forward with your career.
Dr. Rose Marie Shalito, Doctor of Philosophy, Geoscience, virtually hooded by Dr. Marcus Berley. Dr. Emily M. Siska, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry, virtually hooded by Dr. Paul Forster. Dr. Amro M. Abdallah, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry, virtually hooded by Dr. Hong Sun. Dr. Uday Muhammad Bahid Kara Ali, Doctor of Philosophy, Geoscience, virtually hooded by Dr. Ganqing Zhang.
Uday, congratulations. You have done a great job. Keep going.
Dr. Joy A. McKenna, Doctor of Philosophy, Biology, virtually hooded by Dr. Helen Wing.
Dr. Joy McKenna, I'm excited to be here for your PhD graduation. I'm very proud of all the research you did in my laboratory. Congratulations on your success.
Dr. Vi McKirchian, Doctor of Philosophy, Physics, virtually hooded by Dr. Andrew Cornelius. Dr. John Wan Nguyen, Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematical Sciences, virtually hooded by Dr. Zhijian Wu. Dr. Joshua Ragged, Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematical Sciences, virtually hooded by Dr. Derek Dubose and Douglas Burke. Dr. Benazir Rowe, Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematical Sciences, virtually hooded by Dr. Ame Ame. Dr. Michael Strange, Doctor of Philosophy, Geoscience, virtually hooded by Dr. Stephen Rowland.
Congratulations, Michael, on finishing your degree. It's been a great pleasure working with you. You've done fantastic things, and I wish you just the best of luck in your career.
Dr. Howard Yanshan, Doctor of Philosophy, Physics, virtually hooded by Dr. Kang Zhu.
Congratulations to our College of Science graduates. On behalf of the Graduate College, our sincerest congratulations to the doctoral graduate from our interdisciplinary graduate programs. We are incredibly proud of you for reaching this milestone.
Congratulations to our interdisciplinary health sciences doctoral graduate. Your innovation and collaborative interdisciplinary spirit are noteworthy. We wish you great success in your future endeavors. Now we are pleased to present the doctoral candidate from Integrated Health Sciences.
Dr. Dustin Dunnick, Doctor of Philosophy, Interdisciplinary Health Sciences, virtually hooded by Dr. Brian Schilling.
Congratulations, Dustin. I'm very proud of you and the way you dealt with adversity, and I'm glad that you've moved on to greener pastures.
Congratulations to our 2020 doctoral graduates from Interdisciplinary Health Sciences. Now, please welcome Rob ULMER, Dean of the GREENSPUN College of Urban Affairs, who will join me for the virtual hooding of our GREENSPUN College graduates.
Thank you, Kate. To our doctoral graduates, on behalf of our faculty and staff, we send you our best wishes and congratulations. What an incredible accomplishment. Your hard work and dedication is a testament to your commitment to lifelong learning, as well as your resilience and perseverance. The world needs you and your ideas and your impact now more than ever. As you reflect on your future, my hope is that you will continue to develop new knowledge, create change, and invest in your community. Your research will support the economic and social recovery of our nation and beyond. Understand that change doesn't occur with one published paper or policy brief. Like learning, change is often incremental and takes the same qualities of patience, fortitude, and commitment that enabled you to earn this degree. Finally, as a GREENSPUN graduate, I believe that the knowledge you will create after graduation will not only improve your life, but will most certainly make a positive impact on your family, our community, and beyond. Keep in touch with us and enjoy today's celebration. You earned it. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Dr. Caitlin Saladino, Doctor of Philosophy, Public Affairs, virtually hooded by Dr. Robert Lang. Dr. Janice L. Glasper, Doctor of Philosophy, Workforce Development and Organizational Leadership, virtually hooded by Dr. Christopher Stream. Dr. Amelia Kiala S.J. Heen, Doctor of Philosophy, Criminal Justice, virtually hooded by Dr. Joel Lieberman.
Hi, Malia. This is the spot where our adventure began many years ago. You've done amazing things along the way, and this is only the beginning. Congratulations.
Congratulations to our 2020 doctoral graduates from the GREENSPUN College of Urban Affairs. Now, please join me in welcoming Dean RAMA VENKAT from the Howard R. Hughes College of Engineering, who will join me for the virtual hooding of our engineering doctoral graduates.
Thank you very much for that introduction, Kate. Hello, engineering and computer science graduates. Congratulations on completing your PhD. You represent the very best of UNLV and UNLV engineering. I am so very proud to have been your dean during your time here. I want to thank you for your perseverance and dedication to your studies and research. I also want to thank your friends and family for their support and understanding when you were working late hours on campus in the lab, prepping for lectures during the weekend, traveling to conferences, and spending countless hours on your dissertation. What you accomplished is remarkable and deserves recognition. I am optimistic about the future because you, PhD graduates, will be leading it. Here is my challenge to you. Do work that has an impact and makes a difference. Do work that breaks new ground and solves important problems for the society, for the country, and the world. Do work that you personally find interesting and fulfilling. And finally, commit to the belief that you can accomplish anything, because everyone here at UNLV believes in you. From the faculty, staff, and students of HRH Engineering, congratulations, well done.
Dr. Elehe Aladusti, Doctor of Philosophy, Mechanical Engineering, virtually hooded by Dr. He Zhao. Dr. Carter Chu, Doctor of Philosophy, Computer Science, virtually hooded by Dr. Justin Zahn. Dr. Patrick M. Daleiden, Doctor of Philosophy, Computer Science, virtually hooded by Dr. Andreas Stefik. Dr. Medya Fatih, Doctor of Philosophy, Civil and Environmental Engineering, virtually hooded by Dr. Pramen Shrestha. Dr. Abu Iqbal, Doctor of Philosophy, Mechanical Engineering, virtually hooded by Dr. Brendan O'Toole. Dr. Monia Kazmani, Doctor of Philosophy, Mechanical Engineering, virtually hooded by Dr. Alexander Bartsilov. Dr. Kaipo Kakala, Doctor of Philosophy, Mechanical Engineering, virtually hooded by Dr. Yitung Chen. Dr. Mohammed Natsari Charabian, Doctor of Philosophy, Civil and Environmental Engineering, virtually hooded by Dr. Moses Karkuzian and Donald Hayes. Dr. Emad Puryastanpana Karmani, Doctor of Philosophy, Mechanical Engineering, virtually hooded by Dr. Yitung Chen. Dr. Jeffrey Stewart, Doctor of Philosophy, Mechanical Engineering, virtually hooded by Dr. Alexander Bartsilov. Dr. John Woodrow Wilson, Doctor of Philosophy, Civil and Environmental Engineering, virtually hooded by Dr. Moses Karkuzian and Sajad Ahmad. Dr. Visar Farangi, Doctor of Philosophy, Civil and Environmental Engineering, virtually hooded by Dr. Moses Karkuzian. Dr. Zhao Fu, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical and Computer Engineering, virtually hooded by Dr. Mei Yang. Dr. Robert T. Hunt, Doctor of Philosophy, Mechanical Engineering, virtually hooded by Dr. Kwang Kim. Dr. Nathan D.T. Lloyd, Doctor of Philosophy, Civil and Environmental Engineering, virtually hooded by Dr. Saman Ladkani. Dr. Kaushik Nandan Rai, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical and Computer Engineering, virtually hooded by Dr. Venkatasan Mutkamakar and Sajendra Singh. Dr. Saba Nika Manesh, Doctor of Philosophy, Civil and Environmental Engineering, virtually hooded by Dr. Chin Uk Choi.
Hello Saba, Dr. Choi here. Congratulations on your graduation, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Congratulations.
Dr. Sakin Purashataman Nambudiri, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical and Computer Engineering, virtually hooded by Dr. R. Jacob Baker.
Congratulations to our 2020 doctoral graduates from engineering. Now, please join me in welcoming Dean Ron Brown from the School of Integrated Health Sciences, who will join me for the virtual hooding of our Integrated Health Sciences doctoral graduates.
Thank you, Dean Corrigan. Congratulations to each one of you as a member of the 2020 class of doctoral graduates from the School of Integrated Health Sciences. The completion of your doctoral degree is a testament to your ability to set and achieve lofty goals. For this, I commend you. I wish you all the successes you desire to achieve as you embark on the next phase of your professional lives. Graduates, congratulations. Now I am pleased to present the doctoral candidates from the School of Integrated Health Sciences.
Dr. Andrew Craig Jones, Doctor of Philosophy, Kinesiology, virtually hooded by Dr. John Mercer. Dr. Damon McCune, Doctor of Philosophy, Kinesiology, virtually hooded by Dr. John Mercer. Dr. Ryan David Sharp, Doctor of Medical Physics, virtually hooded by Dr. Steen Madsen. Dr. Timothy R. Thatcher, Doctor of Medical Physics, virtually hooded by Dr. Steen Madsen and Yu Kwang. Doctor of Physical Therapy students participate in a group culminating project. Graduates will be hooded in groups. The first group project is titled Association Between Patient Ability and Activities of Daily Living at Hospital Admission and Key Indicators.
Congratulations, Doctors of Physical Therapy, Amber Steele and Stephanie Rosen. Your hard work exploring the relationship between a person's limitations in daily activities and key hospital outcomes is commendable. I'm proud to call you both colleagues.
This group is being hooded by Dr. Daniel Young. Dr. Stephanie T. Rosen, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Amber Rose Steele, Doctor of Physical Therapy. The next group project is entitled Brain Volumes and Dual Task Performance Correlates Among Individuals with Cognitive Impairment, a retrospective analysis.
As the research advisor for John Besterecchia, Daniel Christ, Caitlin Moreland, and Morgan Wise, I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to you all on your Doctor of Physical Therapy degrees and wish you the best of luck in your future. Congratulations.
The following group of students will be hooded by Dr. Merrill Landers. Dr. John Andoni Besterecchia, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Daniel Christ, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Caitlin Elise Moreland, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Morgan Ashley Wise, Doctor of Physical Therapy. The next group project is entitled Comparisons of Patellar Bone Mineral Density Between Individuals with and Without Patellofemoral Pain.
Congratulations, Adina, Chris, Shane, and Shep. As your advisor at UNLV PT, I really enjoy working with you and I'm very proud of your achievement. Congratulations again.
Dr. Alina Lee Cummins, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Chris Koo, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Stephen Shepard, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Shane Parker, Doctor of Physical Therapy. The next group project is entitled Dosage, Mode, and Timing of the Acute Care Physical Therapy, a Scoping Review.
Congratulations, Doctors of Physical Therapy, Brendan Acosta and Brad Goins. Your hard work on a hospital-based physical therapy scoping review is commendable. I'm proud to call you both colleagues.
This group will be hooded by Dr. Daniel Young. Dr. Brendan Paul Acosta, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Bradley Terry Ray Goins, Doctor of Physical Therapy. The next group project is entitled Effects of Transcranial Direct Current Stimulation on Gait and Balance Post-Stroke.
Congratulations, Peyton, Jordan, Leonard, and Sarah. It has been an amazing 3 years working with you as your research advisor. I am so very proud to see your achievements today. I wish you every success in your new venture as Doctors of Physical Therapy. Congratulations.
This group will be hooded by Dr. Jing Nyong Liang. Dr. Peyton Lynn Hobson, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Jordan Jacqueline, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Leonard James Ubalde, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Sarah Wright Avila, Doctor of Physical Therapy. The next group project is entitled Fall Prevention Service Learning Project.
Congratulations, Alexis Mansour, Kendra Morrison, Jeremy Nortfelt, and Chang Jimmy Tu. It was my pleasure to mentor you through your doctoral studies of physical therapy, and I really look forward to collaborating with you in the future as colleagues. Well done.
This group will be hooded by Dr. Jennifer Nash. Dr. Alexis Mary Mansour, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Kendra Morrison, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Jeremy Earl Nordfeldt, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Chang Tu, Doctor of Physical Therapy. The next group project is entitled Partnering with the Nevada Physical Therapy Association to Improve PT/PTA Engagement. This group will be hooded by Dr. Carrie Gillis. Dr. Rachel Clark Cookland, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Joshua A. Cooper, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Madison C. Luna, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Our next group project is entitled Patient and Facility Perceptions on the Feasibility of a Student-Run Pro Bono Back School for Uninsured Patients with Low Back Pain.
Congratulations, Doctors of Physical Therapy Javier Escaño, Sophia Cruz, Lauren Liebert, and Trevor Pasek. Your hard work and dedication for underserved individuals in Southern Nevada through the creation of a student-run pro bono back school is commendable. I'm proud to call each of you a friend and a colleague.
This group will be hooded by Dr. Keone Kins. Dr. Javier Escaño Pelon, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Sophia I. Cruz, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Lauren Michelle Liebert, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Trevor Pachuk, Doctor of Physical Therapy.
It is my pleasure to personally congratulate Megan Duncan, Rebecca Templeton, Daniel Tiano, and James Stingy on the completion of their Doctor of Physical Therapy degree. This group of students has shown to be resilient through their didactic education, through their clinical education, and now as members of the workforce. Megan, Rebecca, Dan, and James, we at UNLV PT are proud of you, and we're excited to see you continue to be incredible members of the healthcare community. Congratulations.
This group will be hooded by Dr. Tiffany Barrett. Dr. Megan Elizabeth Duncan, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Rebecca Templeton, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Daniel Tiano, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. James Chingy, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Our next group project is entitled Physical Therapy After Amputation in Community Dwelling Older Adults, a quantitative and qualitative interview study. Our next group will be hooded by Dr. Zhu Ping Li. Dr. Amanda Lynn Ferraro, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Jennifer Gorton, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Lindsay Horn, Doctor of Physical Therapy. This group project is entitled Reliability of the Lateral Reach Test in People with Unilateral Transfemoral Amputations.
Hello, this is Dr. Jason Ciccatelli. I'd like to congratulate Stephen Hill, Samantha Leonard, and Elizabeth Trujillo. It was a privilege working with all three of you, and I wish you enormous... Hello, this is Dr. Jason Ciccatelli. I'd like to congratulate Stephen Hill, Samantha Leonard, and Elizabeth Trujillo. It was a privilege working with all three of you, and I wish you enormous success in your careers as physical therapists. Congratulations.
This group will be virtually hooded by Dr. Jason Ciccatelli. Dr. Stephen Hill, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Samantha A. Leonard, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Elizabeth Vianney Trujillo, Doctor of Physical Therapy. The next group project is entitled The Effectiveness of Implementing a Collegiate Dance Clinic at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Hello, Ryan, Quinn, Kristen, and Matthew. I just want to say congratulations on all of your achievements and your graduation with your Doctor of Physical Therapy degree. Well done.
This group will be virtually hooded by Dr. Cassie Turner, Dr. Kristen Elizabeth Allman, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Dr. Matthew MacArthur, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Dr. Quinn Williams, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Dr. Ryan Yim, Doctor of Physical Therapy. The next group project is entitled The Effects of Somatosensory Input on Gait in Individuals Post-Stroke.
Congratulations, Victor, Amanda, Rachel, and Nikita. It has been a great pleasure working with you as your research advisor. I am very proud to see you reap the fruits of your hard work today. I wish you all the very best as you venture out to build a career that you love. Congratulations.
This group will be hooded by Dr. Jing Nyong Niang, Dr. Victor Hung, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Dr. Amanda M. Riley, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Dr. Rachel Lynn Wood, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Dr. Nikita Yuskov, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Dr. Lidio Lima de Albuquerque, Doctor of Philosophy, Kinesiology, virtually hooded by Dr. Brock Poston.
Congratulations to our 2020 doctoral graduates from Integrated Health Sciences. Now, please welcome Dean Angela Amar from the School of Nursing, who will join me for the virtual hooding of our nursing doctoral graduates.
Thank you, Kate. Less than 1% of all nurses in the country hold a doctoral degree, and even less have earned a PhD that prepares them to conduct research and are DNPs to teach and do clinical research. Congratulations, nursing graduates, and we can't wait to see all of the amazing things you accomplished. Now I'm pleased to present the doctoral candidates from the School of Nursing.
Dr. Jocelyn Catherine Allen, Doctor of Nursing Practice, virtually hooded by Dr. Tricia Gatlin and Dr. Mary Bonmas.
Congratulations, Dr. Jocelyn Catherine Allen.
Dr. Valerie Charissa Barboa, Doctor of Nursing Practice, virtually hooded by Dr. Lori Candela.
Hi, Dr. Barboa. I just wanted to send this very quick video to congratulate you, even though it's a little bit delayed, on completing your DNP. I am so proud of you, and I welcome you as a doctoral colleague.
Dr. Milo Kayla Brantner, Doctor of Nursing Practice, virtually hooded by Dr. Cheryl Mays.
Congratulations, Milo, on achieving your Doctorate of Nursing Practice, and good luck with your future endeavors.
Dr. Tanya Denise Bryant, Doctor of Nursing Practice, virtually hooded by Dr. Tricia Gatlin.
Congratulations, Dr. Tanya Denise Bryant.
Dr. Sarah Dereza Erskine, Doctor of Nursing Practice, virtually hooded by Dr. Jennifer Kawai. Dr. Beth Hawk, Doctor of Nursing Practice, virtually hooded by Dr. Tricia Gatlin.
Congratulations, Dr. Beth Hawk.
Dr. Kaylee Marie Humphreys, Doctor of Nursing Practice, virtually hooded by Dr. Jessica Doolin. Dr. Mary Monica Nera, Doctor of Nursing Practice, virtually hooded by Dr. Alona Dalusang Angasta. Dr. Teresa M. Prowse, Doctor of Nursing Practice, virtually hooded by Dr. Mary Bonmas.
On behalf of Dean Angela Amar and the entire School of Nursing faculty, it is my pleasure to congratulate Dr. Teresa Prowse.
Dr. Judd Simons, Doctor of Nursing Practice, virtually hooded by Dr. Rochelle Ekrus.
Congratulations, Dr. Jared Simmons, in achieving your Doctor of Nursing practice. I wish you all the best.
Dr. Susan Luke Belliston, Doctor of Philosophy in Nursing, virtually hooded by Dr. Mary Bonmas.
On behalf of Dean Angela Amar and the School of Nursing faculty, it is my pleasure to congratulate Dr. Susan Belliston.
Dr. Kelly Ann Garth, Doctor of Philosophy Nursing, virtually hooded by Dr. Dumatron. Dr. Kristen K. Grunrud, Doctor of Nursing Practice, virtually hooded by Dr. Mary Bonmas.
On behalf of Dean Angela Amar and the School of Nursing faculty, it is my pleasure to congratulate Dr. Kristen Granerud.
Dr. Carol Lynn Seenet, Doctor of Philosophy Nursing, virtually hooded by Dr. Catherine Dingley.
Congratulations, Dr. Lynn Sennett, on an extraordinary job completing your PhD. I look forward to many years of having you as a good colleague. Congratulations.
Dr. Adrian Rebecca Stamps, Doctor of Philosophy Nursing, virtually hooded by Dr. Lori Candela.
Hello, Dr. Stamps. I am honored to have been a small part of your journey, and I hope that you will stay in touch with me. I think that you are just going to be a superstar in our profession.
Dr. Rhiannon Dawn Sullivan, Doctor of Philosophy Nursing, virtually hooded by Dr. Patricia Gatlin.
Congratulations, Dr. Rayana Dawn Sullivan.
Dr. Anna Wendell, Doctor of Philosophy Nursing, virtually hooded by Dr. Lori Candela.
Hi, Dr. Wendell. I just wanted to take a couple seconds to offer again congratulations for completing your PhD in nursing. So I am so proud to have been part of working with you to get there. Take care.
Congratulations to our 2020 nursing doctoral graduates. Now, please welcome Dean Sean Gerstenberger from the School of Public Health, who will join me for the virtual hooding of our public health doctoral graduates.
Thank you, Dean Corrigan. On behalf of all of the faculty and staff at the School of Public Health, congratulations. Now more than ever, we need qualified and competent public health leaders infusing our workforce locally, regionally, and nationwide. It's your time to lead. It's time to roll up your sleeves, to wash your hands, to strap on those masks, to apply the hand sanitizer, and lead our socially distanced path out of this pandemic. We are counting on you to go change the world. I am now pleased to present the doctoral candidates from the School of Public Health.
Dr. Johanna Elizabeth Andrews, Doctor of Philosophy, Public Health, virtually hooded by Dr. Melva Thompson Robinson. Dr. Kavita Batra, Doctor of Philosophy, Public Health, virtually hooded by Dr. Patricia Cruz.
I wish to congratulate my doctoral student, Kavita Batra. Congratulations. Go chase your dreams.
Dr. Philip Dankwa, Doctor of Philosophy, Public Health, virtually hooded by Dr. Melva Thompson Robinson. Dr. Amanda E. Morgan, Doctor of Philosophy, Public Health, virtually hooded by Dr. Mariah Shago. Dr. Babayemi Olawashem Olakunde, Doctor of Philosophy, Public Health, virtually hooded by Dr. Jennifer Farr.
Yemi, congratulations on completing your PhD and for all of the amazing contributions you're making to the field of public health.
Dr. John O. Olawepo, Doctor of Philosophy, Public Health, virtually hooded by Dr. Jennifer Farr. Dr. Maria Amaris Knight, Doctor of Philosophy, Public Health, virtually hooded by Dr. Mariah Shagog. Dr. Sabina Malik, Doctor of Philosophy, Public Health, Virtually hooded by Drs. Courtney Coffenauer and Francisco Sai.
Congratulations, Dr. Malik. You are an invaluable addition to the field of public health, and I am honored to call you a colleague.
Dr. Christina M. Ricker-Bowles, Doctor of Philosophy in Public Health. Virtually hooded by Dr. Melva Thompson Robinson.
Congratulations to our 2020 doctoral graduates from the School of Public Health. Now, please welcome Associate Dean Tony Henthorn from the William F. Harrah College of Hospitality, who will join me for the virtual hooding of our hospitality doctoral graduates.
Thank you, Kate. Without a doubt, this year has been unlike anything anyone has ever experienced or could even imagine. But throughout it all, you excelled, and you should be proud of this accomplishment. The PhD is the highest academic achievement that exists. You join a very small and unique group of individuals. You are the keepers of the flame. You are the ones who will take hospitality education and research to the next level. We are all extremely proud of you, and we can't wait to see what you do next. From myself and all of the faculty and staff in the Harrah College of Hospitality, we say congratulations. You have achieved something truly spectacular. Now I'm pleased to present the doctoral candidates from the William F. Harrah College of Hospitality.
Dr. Unju Kim, Doctor of Philosophy, Hospitality Administration. Virtually hooded by Dr. Sarah Tanford. Dr. Denise Holly R. Molintas, Doctor of Philosophy, Hospitality Administration. Virtually hooded by Dr. James Busser. Dr. Jeffrey M. Yedlin, Doctor of Philosophy, Hospitality Administration. Virtually hooded by Dr. Robert Woods. Dr. Tevfik Demirsivci, Doctor of Philosophy, Hospitality Administration. Virtually hooded by Dr. Amanda Bellarmino.
Congratulations, Tevfik. I couldn't be prouder of you. I'm sorry you couldn't be here, but I know you're doing great. I'm so proud of you and so happy for you, and I wish you all the best of happiness.
Dr. Ankita Ghosh, Doctor of Philosophy, Hospitality Administration. Virtually hooded by Dr. Cass Shum.
Hey Ankita, congratulations. Thank you for spending the last 3 years with me. I'm proud of you.
Dr. Unmin Huang, Doctor of Philosophy, Hospitality Administration. Virtually hooded by Dr. Yensun Kim. Dr. Gina K. Morano, Doctor of Philosophy, Hospitality Administration. Virtually hooded by Dr. Tony Henthorn. Dr. Robert H. Rippey, Doctor of Philosophy, Hospitality Administration. Virtually hooded by Dr. Mehmet Erdem.
Dr. Robert Rippey, PhD. Congratulations, my friend. Really proud of you. Sky is the limit, but not really since you're a Navy pilot. See you soon.
Dr. Ezra Topkalu, Doctor of Philosophy, Hospitality Administration. Virtually hooded by Dr. Seamus Balaglu.
Congratulations again to all of these doctoral graduates, and on behalf of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, I am proud to confer upon you your doctoral degree.
Thank you so much, Provost Heavey. Now, please join me in welcoming Governor Steve Sisolak, who has a very special message for our 2020 doctoral graduates.
Hello, graduates. I'm Governor Steve Sisolak. It's my honor to have been invited to celebrate this momentous day with you all here today. I first and foremost want to thank UNLV President Dr. Keith Whitfield and everyone at UNLV for inviting me to speak and making this virtual celebration possible for our hardworking graduates. And to this incredible class of UNLV graduates, I want to congratulate you on your commencement. There is no doubt that Nevada will continue celebrating your achievements for years to come. Your knowledge, your passion, and your commitment will help shape this state's future, and that gives me great confidence. It is with great pride and joy that I say congratulations to the UNLV doctoral graduates. Not only have you completed this chapter of your academic journey, but you did so in the midst of this historic pandemic. Jobs were lost, lives upended, the health of the public threatened by this invisible virus. In-person interactions with professors, classmates, and friends were cut short and moved to Zoom videos. I know this hasn't been easy. And while I'm sure that you have preferred to finish this chapter during a normal time, I can promise you this: you all have a unique skill set that's highly sought after and hard to find. The ability to adapt, to overcome, and to stay the course. This matters. And while we pray that this is the last pandemic for a long time, one guarantee remains true: that adversity and challenges still lie ahead, whether in your personal or your professional life. But every single one of you have proven you can make it through, even in the most difficult of times. Your years of education and sacrifice to your academic field have not gone unnoticed. And today, your faculty, family, and I are proud to celebrate with you as you conquer the pinnacle of your academic journey. You have truly embodied the battle-born spirit of our great state by exemplifying perseverance and pushing through all the adversaries that has been laid ahead of you. The state of Nevada is proud to welcome you, our highly skilled graduates that will soon be this state's leading scientists, engineers, artists, policymakers, healthcare providers, and entrepreneurs. The knowledge and skills that you have gained are essential to securing the prosperity of our state and will be key to helping our state recover from this pandemic. As we cherish this moment, I would like to note that not everyone has the opportunity to graduate, and certainly no one graduates alone. It has been through the continual efforts set forth by your family and your community that have helped make this a possibility here today. I look forward to your contributions as our next leaders of tomorrow. But for today, know that the state of Nevada is rejoicing in seeing you triumph and be awarded the highest educational attainment in academia. On behalf of the state of Nevada, congratulations to our doctoral graduates. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor Sisolak. And now, President Whitfield.
Congratulations, 2020 doctoral graduates. I'm proud of your accomplishments.
Thank you, President Whitfield. To our graduates, I wish you a grand adventure, a world of opportunities, a lifetime of intellectual stimulation and ongoing learning, and the gift of being able to feel useful and to make a difference. Kudos and congratulations. We are so very proud of you. As we conclude our program today, I'd like to thank Dr. Larry Henley from the College of Fine Arts for the reading of our graduates' names today. I'd also like to sincerely thank the UNLV TV team for their immense help in putting together today's ceremony. A special thank you to our incredible UNLV School of Music Marimba Band, who provided the music for today's celebration. Thank you so much. Stay safe, be well, and congratulations, everyone.